So hello everyone, Grossy here, welcome back. Today we've got another episode of the Unhuntables podcast series with Christopher.
Hello.
Hello. We are hunting through 2p coins, looking for NIFCs, territories, 1983 2 pence with new pence on instead of 2 pence, something along those lines. Details of what we're looking for is in the description, of course. But yeah, kind of continuing along from where we left.
My half of the video.
That's it.
We were talking about your banknote tracker.
My banknote tracker, that's it. What do you think?
My
of
understanding, then, let me just regurgitate how I think it works then. So if you get a banknote, it has a serial number on it, and the serial numbers are unique to that particular individual banknote.
Yeah.
And you can go and put that code into your website, and you can see if anyone else has registered that banknote, where it's circulated in the country.
That's it.
And if it hasn't, you can enter it to be the first step on that.
That's right. And then when you enter the banknote, you can either do it anonymously, or you can make an account, and then every banknote you track kind of goes towards, like a statistic of how many banknotes you've tracked, and then there's like a leaderboard of the top users in a certain time frame and top users of all time, etc. I think it's a fun idea.
How long has it been running for?
Literally 3 days. So if
you're entering your banknotes on there, you might not get matches immediately.
No, you're not going to get matches immediately. And again, it's one of those things that realistically, to get one match, you're going to need to have thousands of banknotes entered.
Okay, so my follow-up question then, how many banknotes have you registered on there already?
64.
What denomination?
A bit of everything, actually. But what it also counts is it counts the total value of the notes tracked so far, and that is £1,275.
There we go.
But yeah, I think it's a bit of fun, and I've seen it done in America, and I've also seen it done in the Eurozone. Obviously, both America and the Eurozone are bigger places, but then obviously there's more banknotes, but then more space for them to be sort of, so I don't think it actually matters that they're bigger places because it's more condensed, so actually it's more likely someone would find a banknote in the UK.
It's something I remember it used to be the case with books. You would have a book with a code in it, and the idea was you'd read the book, you'd register, you'd found it where you found it, and then you would leave it out for someone else to pick up, and they could then take it and read it, register where they've had it, and then it could just circulate on and on and on.
Definitely. I think with the Euro one, there is something like, and it's been going for about 20 years, this other Euro website, there's about 5 million banknotes that have been inputted.
Wow.
But only about 19,000 have been tracked more than once.
Oh, wow.
If you see what I mean?
So, because it's your website, I don't know if it might even apply for users. Will there be some sort of notification? Will you be aware if there is a match that's made?
Yeah, I think, again, it doesn't currently do that, but I'd like to have some sort of system where you can view a list of every banknote you've inputted and then how many future, hits that banknote gets, and then you can kind of go back and see where the banknotes you've entered have actually ended up, which I think would be pretty cool. And then the idea is at the moment you just put in the town where you found it, rather than being any more specific than that. But obviously we could add where it was done or where it was spent or where it was found, etc. So yeah, I think pretty cool. It's got good prospects. Again, it just relies on everybody getting behind it. So the more people that submit banknotes, the more chance there is of there being a match. And what a day that'll be, the first day that someone matches a banknote.
I imagine Gracie's sat there refreshing every chance he gets. To find that a match that's been made.
But I think it would be cool as well to do some sort of giveaways based on, top person of the month or something, most banknotes tracked or something like that. So yeah, if you want to,
you've got some banknotes in your wallet,
definitely
head over to Gracie's website and have a crack at it.
And it applies just to UK banknotes, but it could also include Scottish notes and Northern Irish banknotes as well. Because the serial numbers are different lengths, so it can distinguish between the two.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I didn't realise that. So the England banknotes have 10 digits in total. The Scottish ones have 8, and the Northern Irish ones have 7.
There we go.
So yeah,
Exciting stuff.
definitely. I think that's pretty cool. So yeah, there'll be a link in the video description to go and have a look at that as well. Cool. In other news, one thing I wanted to ask your view on.
Wow, you've got something. I apologize. I was just getting. I realized I'd closed down my little notes app that we use for the show notes.
You were finding something else to talk about.
I was getting ready to
you...
swoop in and avoid us just staring at the screen. But
just finishing up on banknotes. Yeah, I've got some topics. I know. Put no trust in me.
It's the first time in I can't even remember how long that you've come with topics to cover.
Yeah. Yeah, just on the topic of banknotes, if anyone wants to get any banknotes graded, I can provide PMG grading services as an NGC authorized dealer. So yeah, little plug, little self-promotion. That includes coins, banknotes, and trading cards as well, like match attacks and things. So yeah, drop me an email and we can sort you out with some grading if you want. What I was going to say was that I was looking at the Royal Mint sales figures. I can't find where they've published the Memorial 50p silverproof or
the Memorial sales figures came out a while ago. They are on that same page. It's got all the years, and I think they're just down the bottom. So the Memorial sales figures came out a while ago. There wasn't anything sort of extraordinary. There was rumours that there were going to be some elements of it that were low minted, but they all seem to be fairly high, which I think is to be expected because we were talking in my video about events that reach out beyond your average coin collector to get them to come and buy coins. The death of the Queen is definitely, and probably the coronation I'd argue as well, a big significant event that would reach out beyond your average coin collector, and other people would be buying it.
Right,
the international demand for them as well.
So there's about 24,000 of them.
I don't remember the number off the top of my head.
Yeah,
I don't know why you're asking me if you got the figures in front of you.
Yeah, no, I've just added it up. No, that's pretty cool. But it's interesting having a little look to see what the figures are to see. No, definitely.
Yeah, I think the overall thing. I think lots of the 2022 coins, which were the new sales figures recently released, they were higher than previous years with some of the coins, and I think part of that might have been because that's the year the Queen died. Potentially there were non-coin collectors who were then scooping up coins from the Royal Mint, thinking that then was that was the right time to start buying coins.
Yeah, especially with the whole buy them before it's too late kind of. Although that was 2023 actually, that was last year.
Yeah. But things like the 2022 annual set, I know would have seen a massive spike in sales after the Queen died because they weren't even producing any more of them, and they ended up having to produce more because there was so much demand for them.
Yeah, just a little, like the Platinum Jubilee was 250,000 of them minted.
Yeah, I think that is now. I think it is the Platinum Jubilee 50p is the highest minted Bunk 50p ever now.
Oh, and that's obviously the horseback obverse, which I found.
Yes, because there is also the 2 coin pack that had the Jodie Clark portrait and the John Bergdahl horseback equine portrait. There was only 1,952 of them, 1952, which I think is the lowest produced Royal Mint Bunk pack. Obviously, those figures off the top of my head. It was just Royal Mint bunk packs I've been looking at. I haven't been looking at the trade packaging, which is an interesting facet because the trade packaging are the rolls of brilliant uncirculated coins that are sold to other companies that then repackage them and sell them.
Oh, wow. So if you add all of those on, it's something like 400,000 of them.
Oh, it's an insane amount of them produced.
But actually, there's more Royal Mint £5 coins for the Jubilee than there were Royal Mint 50p's.
What's that?
Yeah, 264,000 £5 coins and 245,000 50p's. That's interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, the sales figures are always quite interesting because obviously brilliant uncirculated coins, they are minted. Many of them have an unlimited mintage up to demand. So we don't have any idea how many have sold until these figures come out. Sometimes it can be very low, sometimes it can be very high. But even the silver proofs and whatever, gold proofs and that lot, they have a limit, so we will mint up to 10,000 of these coins. But again, that is a ceiling. The sales might not reach that after X amount of time. Whatever is left over at the mint gets melted down and obviously then not sold. So a coin could have a limited mintage of 10,000. They could sell all 10,000 of those coins, but they might only sell 1,000, and that 8,000 between get destroyed. So you can end up with coins that have got reasonably or high limited editions, which end up really low minted because not a lot of people have bought them.
Yeah, I've just had a look at the 2022 annual sets: 40,000 annual coin sets, 26,000 definitive sets, and then about 5,000 trade packaging definitives.
Yeah, the 2023 sales figures are going to be quite interesting because the annual sets were broken in half. You had the commemoratives, which came out at the start of the year, and the definitives, which came out towards the end of the year. So it'll be really interesting to see what the sales figures on those are like, because it's also the first change of our definitive coins in a long time. So it'd be interesting to see how different it is between those two, maybe even the previous years or 2021, as well as sort of a control. Because as I said, when the Queen died, I think that really boosted sales of the 2022 dated ones. So it'd be interesting to see over a 3-5 year period how these significant events on our coins have impacted on the sales.
Definitely, yeah. It's so interesting seeing like the silver sixpence.
The Tooth Fairy 50p as well. Apparently, it's had quite an unexpectedly high mintage.
2,500.
Yeah, which is a lot higher than what people were anticipating. So what that will do to the price of them will be interesting, because that's a coin that was selling for absolutely crazy money.
Yeah, like £150 or something like that.
Yeah, and all it was a Shield 50p with a little star on it. It was bonkers how much they were going for. But selling 2,500, I think, might be a bit more than they were anticipating there. I mean, I'm sure there are other Brilliantly circulated coins which had a lower mintage. We shall wait and see.
Yeah, I've just done my what's the word? Regular Unhuntables mintage figure check to see if there's any mintage figures out. But no, still at 2022.
Yeah, no, but I think will we get them this year? I think
we had it confirmed. Had it confirmed from them that it
well,
will be this year.
You've had it confirmed by someone that it'll happen, but I'm sure that it couldn't stop them coming up with an excuse.
They still haven't replied to my appeal for the Freedom of Information request. Did I mention that in my last video?
Yeah, I think you did, yeah. Right. I know you've spoken to me about it, but I'm sure that would have been an Unhuntables conversation.
Yeah, I'm sure we talked about that 2 weeks ago, but yeah, I appealed the decision to withhold information about what's contained in the Royal Mint Long store. And yeah, they haven't replied to me yet, so we'll have to wait and see if anything comes from that.
When's the deadline on your appeal?
Supposedly 20 working days, which is coming up soon. It'll be maybe another week or so, and then that'll be it.
So by the next Unhuntables, you should have another answer for us.
Hopefully.
Which hopefully will be a more informative answer than the answer we had last time.
My Unhuntables video next time depends on this. This is the most critical thing.
That'll be another week where Grossy's actually got topics to talk about.
Awesome. Well, that's my topic's finished. Anything that you've got that we didn't talk about?
I think the only thing that we didn't talk about was since the last time we did the Unhuntables, there's a new Great Engravings coin. I think it's Pastrucci's Waterloo medal. It's an impressive design. It is a coin that's being split over 2 releases. You're going to get one side of the medal now, on one side of the medal later, part of the Great Engravings series, which has had some really stunning coins on it. But this one hasn't sold as well as some of the earlier ones, the Una and the Lion or the Three Graces, for instance. So it'll be interesting to see what the outcome is when the second half of the medal comes out as well. But kind of interesting to have a medal, the design of a medal on one side of a coin, and then obviously the King's portrait on the other. So I guess it's similar to what the Victoria Cross, the medal's 50p is. You've got a medal design on a coin.
Yeah.
But it's a very pretty coin, I must say. Not something I have bought, because again the Great Engravings are a little bit expensive. They are very much a prestige range within the Royal Mint. So yeah, not one I've bought into, but one I've appreciated from a distance.
Well above my my coin collecting position.
So the next Unhuntables, I've just got to suggest that it might end up really low minted and really desirable. It's
Then
part
I'll buy
of a
one and get
really
it graded.
prestigious coin set, and then Grace will have to crack his credit card out and go buy a couple.
Definitely. But yeah, that'll be that. Let's go back to the 2Ps, see what we managed to find, and remember to check out my Banknote Tracker as well. Right, so a couple of nice bits and bobs. 2 territories, well, I say territories. One's a territory from Guernsey. One is an Irish 2P from 1986. Very nice. We got one 2017 Shield. We got a nice shiny 2006 sort of rainbow colour 2000. I think that looks pretty cool. And my favourite find is this. Heads or tails? Another tails. It is a double-sided 2p coin. Obviously, post-mint damage, you can see where someone's joined the two together. But I looked at that and thought, that's pretty cool. So yeah, go and check out Christopher's part of the video. Make sure to check out my Banknote Tracker as well, link in the description. And I'll see you all later. Bye-bye.